Welcome to the weekly meeting of the Liars Club. In attendance are four of the biggest liars you'll ever meet. Mr. Peter Marshall. Funny Fannie Flagg. Right here on this stage, Joey Bishop. On loan from Kojak, George Savalas. And now here's the man who will try to keep them honest, the president of the Liars Club, Bill Armstrong.
Hi, and welcome to the Liars Club. Well, you've just met four of the biggest liars in Hollywood. Now, let's meet the players our fabulous fibbers are going to try and fool. Bill?
From Canoga Park, Jim Johnson. From Woodland Hills, Terry Olmsted. From Tarzana, Diane Ogden. And from Northridge, Maggie Mackey.
Hi, guys. Pay attention now, because here are the rules. You're going to be shown a variety of really strange objects, one at a time. Now, each of our famous liars will tell his version of what that object really is, but only one of them is going to be telling the truth. Your job, pick the real story from among the four. Jim, you won the toss backstage, right? That puts you in our first sitting position, so on this item, you'll have the pick of all four stars. Now, your bet will pay off at 2 to 1. Shoot. Okay. Terry, you're in position number 2. You'll have your choice of the remaining 3 stars, and your odds will be 5 to 1. Good deal? Okay, Diane? 10 to 1 are your odds, and you may choose any one of the 2 remaining stars. 10 to 1. And poor Maggie, what can I tell you? You'll be stuck, or maybe not stuck, with the 1 remaining star. Okay, could work out nice. Your odds, a whopping 20 to 1. So for that disadvantage, you get an advantage. Each person now has 100 Liars Club dollars to start with. Okay? I'll be playing right along with you, too, because I have absolutely no idea what these objects are. I've never seen them before. So, Petey, if you'll take that first one up and tell us some insane story.
This was worn by Robert Wagner and Prince Valiant. No, this is a very simple item, and it's obvious what it is. It's a kelp, not a kelp cutter, it's a kelp gatherer. As you know, from kelp we get vitamins, iron. In fact, the Japanese have known about kelp for years, and it's very nutritious. And how this operates, it fits on the back of a boat, and you can see the little goodie here. And I've got rhythm, I got you. And it rotates, it gathers the kelp. Here we go, gathering kelp in the and they pull it up, and that is what it is. It is a kelp gatherer, and believe me, friends, that's what it is. Okay, Finn.
A kelp gatherer. Okay.
Let's go.
First of all, I can't stay. No, actually, this is very funny because I'm, as you know, from Alabama, and I couldn't believe what he was saying. And what they've done is they've played a little trick on you. This is a set. Comes in a set of 4, and they've shown you one, actually. And I'm not very strong, but I'll show you what it is. This goes on the back of a John Deere appliance, so that's fine, and I'll take chocolate. On the back of a John Deere appliance, and it is used only in the South, and what it's for, if you know anything about cotton, what happens is because we have to have a very fast cotton crop, the problem is that, if you heard the expression, cotton gets rotten. All right, this is on the back of the machine, and all 4 are twirling, and what it does, it gets the soil totally invigorated and everything, so the next crop will not be rotten, because cotton tends to go into and get rotten, and that's what it is.
I think it's long enough for your crop to come in. Joe?
If anything I hate, it's to be surrounded by stupidity. This is an enema for an elephant. Actually, I've only been into boating about 2 years now, but in World War I, this, strangely enough, was your forerunner, the radar. Now, today, as a matter of fact, this same piece of metal on small sailboats that cannot afford radar will buy a piece of this metal, and if they put it up high enough, a boat equipped with radar will be able to see the reflection. This was hung over for the smaller boats, the dinghies that left the larger boats in World War I, and then later on in World War II. This is a radar reflector.
A radar reflector, okay. George?
Radar reflector.
Don't you know an orangutan yahoo when you see it, Joey? No. In fact, what this is very simple. You see, this thing goes, I don't believe it. this thing goes like this, you see. I think this way. And it fits on a machine. And it goes in here. You hold this end when you put it up, and then there's a kind of a big pot, and they fill it with dough. And this thing turns around like that, and as it turns around, it mixes the dough. And that's how we get our bread. That's not the way you get your bread, but it's the way. And that's all.
And that's it, a dough maker. Okay. You've just heard 4 ridiculous stories, players. Pete said it was a kelp gatherer. Fannie said it was a cotton derottener for the soil. Joey said it was an early dinghy radar. And George said it's to make dough with. Okay? You're in our first position, Jim. Remember, your payoff is going to be 2-1. You have $100 to start with. You may bet up to 50. Do any of those stories sound reasonable to you?
No.
No? Who will you go with and how much?
I'll try $25 on George.
$25 on George. You think it's a dough maker?
I think it's a dome.
Okay, we move down here to Terry. Terry, you have 3 remaining players. George is gone. There's Joey, Fannie, and Peter. You have $100. What would you bet and on whom?
I think I'll bet $25 on Peter.
$25 on Peter. You think it's a kelp gatherer?
Yeah, I
Or do you
really
think he has a sincere look?
Both.
Both, huh? 2 wrongs. Right now. Kelp gatherer. Okay, at 10-1. That's where we are. Diane, you have 2 stars left to choose from. You have a radar and a cotton derottener.
It was between 2 and 1 is taken, so I will take Fannie for $15.
$15 on the Fannie. You think it's a cotton fixer for the soil. Okay.
You get an idea of how intelligent I sounded? She stuck with me.
Okay, Maggie, what can I tell you, my dear? You're 20-1. You have $100. You're stuck, as Joey said, with Joey. Early radar, he said. How much is that worth to you, that story?
Oh, I wouldn't believe that for anything. $10
bucks, that's
is-
it.
That's
$10
it.
on Joey leaves you with 90. Let's find out, because one of these stars was telling the truth. Bill Barry, could we find out which one it was, please?
Sanval Restaurant Equipment verifies this is a bakery dough mixer.
Bill, you just said, right? At 2-1. What did you bet? You bet $25 at 2-1.
Bill.
That's going to give you $50.
They're right. They says the dough maker, and already he's made how much?
A lot of bread. $150 he has. We'll be back to show you another strange item and 4 more strange stories from 4 strange stars. Right after this commercial, please come back.
Hitachi is proud to present the following program.
Hi, we're back at our Liars Club meeting. We're about to give 4 more stories from our 4 big stars. Looks like George just finished dinner. Players, pay attention. George, will you tell us what that strange object is?
Well, as you can see, I am a living testimonial to the finer culinary arts in the world. And I've traveled extensively to the finer restaurants. And in the Orient, I make a kind of a collection of these things. In the Orient, a person like myself with my hand, I don't want to use this on Kojak, but we won't go into that. In the Orient, when you eat, not being able to handle chopsticks, you use this device. It's already pressed. It has a little tension on here, as you can see. And you put this into the food, and you eat it this way. It's extremely valuable and very rare. You see? Joey?
Okay.
It is your turn, sir.
It's an old chopstick kind of thing.
Yes,
For
sir.
my records, huh?
Absolutely.
All righty.
I'm getting sick of you, George, I tell you. I am really shocked that this would be allowed. And maybe it'll be omitted from the tape. No, really. I know you're familiar with acupuncture, which is Chinese. And I'm embarrassed to say this, but Buddy Hackett, who is my dear friend and is familiar with medicine, this, I hope you'll forgive me. I hope you take out of that tape, Ralph. This is used to abort. If a woman was with child and she decides she'd rather not have it, this is the 12th century birth control.
You mean...
This is...
Well, we got to the 13th century.
Yeah, this was actually...
Okay.
Yes, sister? Yes. He'll see you right after the show, Sister Mary. Do you think I'd touch this if it was Actually, ladies, let's get serious for a moment. The gentlemen obviously don't know. It is Oriental, however, it is not Chinese or Japanese. It is Korean. And actually, in Korea, they have a different status symbol over there. When they have traditional robes, they don't dress up as much as they do in China and Japan. You've seen it. This is obviously, you've seen it before. The ladies wear their hair up, and this is a pin that they put in their hair, and this symbolizes their family background. They have a status symbol over their class system, and this lady didn't come from much. But God bless her, she'll never get married. But this is what it is. This is like showing who they are and what family they came from and their marital status, and that's what it is.
Okay.
Thank you.
A Korean hairpin. We'll put that down there. Petey?
Any of you ever had a sick bird? Because sick birds are the meanest birds in the world. I mean, a macaw, a parrot, a mackerel. I mean, they're very mean birds. This is a bird feeder, if you'll excuse the expression, because you see, if you put the food with your fingers into the, you could lose a tippy tube, right? So you put the food here, and you say, hey, how's your bird? It's a bird feeder.
Okay, players. 4 more stories. According to George, it's an old chopstick. Joey said it's a 12th century Chinese birth control stick.
How about device?
A device.
Yeah,
that was the word I wanted.
Right, yeah.
Fannie said it was, a Korean hairpin, and Pete said it was for a sick bird to feed him with. Now, as you know, you went first, Jim. You are now in our first position. Over there, Terry. So that means that your odds this time will be 2-1. Okay, there they are. Thank you. You've heard the 4 stories. You have $75, and you may bet up to 50 of it. I don't know where in the world you'd choose to go, but that's what you must do.
I think Fanny's telling the truth.
Fanny, you think it's a Korean hairpin, huh?
Really
How much do you think it's worth?
$20.
$20 on a Korean hairpin. Okay, moving down to Diane.
I will bet $15 on George.
Just 15
Savalas,
on
yes.
George. Okay, you think George was right. It's an old chopstick.
No, but...
What is that? Okay, Maggie, leaves you 2, and you're at 10-1, remember?
Oh, my gosh. 5 on Peter.
$5.
5? You,
5?
after that brilliant story, 5?
What are you complaining about? I played 2 rounds, and both times they're stuck with me.
$5 on Peter's sick bird.
Yeah.
Okay, at 10-1, back up here to poor sad Jim. Stuck with Joey Bishop, but at 20-1 with the Chinese 12th century
Device.
device, the word I was after. How much do you think it's a device?
I'll take $20.
$20, you think good. 20 times that could bring you back $400. We'll find out, because I don't think any of them are telling the truth this time. Bill Barry, would you tell us what that thing really is?
Cobweb Collections say it is a dangerous species bird feeder.
You could have made a fortune. A fortune. Down to 2. $5. Boo.
How about that? Good for you, Maggie. You're up to $140. Puts you in the lead by $10, because Jim's at 130, Diane is at 70, and poor Terry is down there with $55. And we'll be back with another strange item. Back with 4 more stories right after this. Please come back.
Oh, I have to buy a mop. Which one?
Able to purchase some of the following prizes with their winnings. From Gibson, a Foodmaster refrigerator freezer. featuring picture-frame doors, cantilever shelves, and Gibson's exclusive frost-clear system in both the refrigerator and freezer sections. You'll never miss another important phone call now that you have My Secretary, the American-made automatic telephone answering system of Bel Air Enterprises of Hawthorne, California.
Hi, and we're back to the Liars Club, where we have to correct a small error we made last time. Peter Marshall's bird feeder was loaned to us by Oriental Antiques in Studio City. Okay? Now we're going to take you to another special part of the Liars Club. We call it our back room, which is the art corner of the Liars Club, and show you this. Here we have on loan from the Wally Finley Galleries at Beverly Hills a magnificent example of the late Fernand Legier's work. Its present value, and get this, players, $17,500. We're going to find out from our 4 stars just what Mr. Legier had in mind when he painted and named that gorgeous masterpiece. And the first explainer is Peter Marshall.
Yes, well, it's an early Hollywood Squares collage. There's Paul. Oh, you happy devil. Fernand Legier, one of the most famous French painters of all time. His works, you know, Finley Galleries all over the world. And from bird feeder, I go to a French term that some of you may understand. You see 3 people. There's a gentleman, and a lady. That is called ménage à trois. That's the title of it. And along with ménage à trois, we have a lot of music and gaiety and color. And gang, listen to me. Ménage à trois. Okay? Fannie?
Certainly sold me, Pete. Fannie?
This painting, in fact, what he said is true. It is done by a Frenchman, and the reason that it is worth a lot of money is not because I'm not fond of it. The problem is the gentleman, this is very sad, was decorated by General de Gaulle. He was in the French underground. He had been a famous painter. He was in a war accident and injured his hands. He came back into Paris and was there 10 years, and he came back and had a showing, and the gentleman painted this picture, which took prizes all over the world, and in fact is at the Walter Finley Galleries. He did this with his feet, which is an amazing feat, and I think he deserves a hand for that.
What's it called, Fannie?
Huh?
What's it called?
It's called Rio.
Rio?
Yes.
Okay.
Joey?
Thank you very much. First of all, Fernand Legier was not the artist's name. His real name was Saul Lipschitz. No, actually, I don't know too much about art, but my wife is an art collector. And Legier, here in this particular painting, has a wife who had to choose between marrying him and remaining an artist. She sang very, very well. And this is symbolic of Fernand's trying to explain her desire to either marry him or continue artistically in her own career. And here you have the instruments that are kind of tossed away. This is, God bless you, but I think they sneezed on the painting. And that's
he called that?
He called it, actually he called it mixed emotions. That's in English translation. The French, in French it was mixed emotions.
Well, I think it's time we got down to some serious business, folks. This is, in fact, a Fernand Legier, an artist who died in 1955, a man who loved South America and the Argentine and all of that South American jazz. He loved it. Okay, he lived there most of his life. Now, this is a gouache. Gouache? Did I say gouache? It's a gouache. And this fellow, see, loved carnivals. Loved them. He used to go to carnivals. Every time there was a carnival anywhere, he'd go there. So, this motif, as it were, see, that's French for, you know. And Fernand Legier made this gorgeous thing, and it is called, very simply, Sao Paulo.
Sao Paulo? Is it?
Yes, Sao Paulo. That's down south.
Brazil.
And
right.
that's what it is. And as they say in French, Zagazon.
Thank you, George Savalas. Okay. Well, we'll recap them for you. I hesitate to do it, but here we go. Pete thinks it's a menage a trois, but Pete thinks everything is. Fannie said it's called Rio. Joey said it's mixed emotion. And George Savalas said it's called Sao Paulo. There you go. Diane, my dear, last time you were 5-1. This time we change your odds. You're in the first position at 2-1. You may have your choice of any of our 4 stars. Which story do you think came closest to the truth?
They all sounded pretty good,
Yeah?
but I'll go with George Savalas.
George Savalas. You think it's
For
really called?
$20.
$20. Okay. And you have 70. You're risking a lot. At 2-1, and you think it's called Sao Paulo. Okie doke. Maggie, my dear, you're at 5-1 now.
Oh.
You have 3 stars left. How much would you bet, and who would you bet it on?
I think I'll go with Joey Bishop for $15.
$15 for mixed emotions. Okay, you weren't left last this time, Joe.
You know how relieved I am?
I know, it must make you feel terrific now. Okay, back up here to you, Jim. This time, you're 10-1. You have 2 players left.
I'll bet $25 on Fannie.
25, a big shot on Fannie. You think it's Rio. Gave you that kind of feeling, huh? Okay, and here we are with poor Terry.
Hello, Terry.
You are left with a menage a trois with Peter. So there you go. How much do you think that's worth?
I think it's unlikely, so I'll bet $1.
Okay, Pete.
was unlikely. $1, right?
Okay, there it is. I got to find out because I need that painting in my home desperately to go with the drapes. Could we find out, Bill Barry, what that really is called?
According to our source authority, the Wally Finley Galleries of Beverly Hills, Leger named this work Sao Paulo.
Son of a gun. Did good. We're going to show you our next object right now, and Peter Marshall has it right in front of him.
Okay, this is what it is. Now, look, it's been a day for me, hasn't it? Or an evening, whatever it is. I've had menage a trois, and I've had bird feeders. This, you know all about whales and seals, but this was really designed for a whale. Whales are very susceptible to pneumonia. I don't know if you know that. And how are you going to take a temperature of a whale? This is what you do. This goes into the blowhole of the whale. You laughed at bird feeder, friends.
They'll laugh
This
at
is the
blowhole.
gauge that the veterinarian would hold. This goes into the blowhole of the whale, and incidentally, they are distracted by, they are being fed while this is in the blowhole. I mean, you got to do something, right, gang? But no, seriously, this goes into the blowhole of the whale, and this gauges the temperature. It's a thermometer, a whale thermometer, and that's the truth.
A whale thermometer.
Yep.
Okay, thanks.
Check, please. No, actually what it is, you know, particularly here in California, there are tremendous amount of people that skin dive. We've had a lot of accidents. And this has been on the market for about 10 years, and now it's going to become a law around the country. And actually what it is, and you see, it is hooked on to the oxygen, and you set it, and it goes up. And the people that are watching you from the boat watch the light, and if you get low on oxygen, they will signal you to come back up. It's actually a safety device that within, I think, the next month the law should be passed that everybody that skin dives must have one of these. And that's the truth.
Okay.
I don't wish to contradict Fannie, but in the fish department, Peter, called Simon, was close. Close. But we're not playing quoits. We're playing a different game. This here, you throw over, see, it has a light, and it has a little battery in here, and there's a sound. And you can put a little volume here, turn up the sound, depending upon what size fish you want to attract. You understand? If you want to put it on 1, like for a sardine, you could put it on 6 just for the halibut. You understand?
Oh.
That's right. Are they allowed to talk to liars like that? This has a light that attracts the fish, the sound attracts them. They hear, they say, oh, mating season. And that's what that's for.
A fish attractor. Okay.
herring. For herring, depends upon your religion.
No, sir, let's get serious, Joey. I mean, it's time for us to get serious. This, in fact, see, I have an Uncle Tom who's a geologist.
You have an Uncle Tom?
Yeah. Yeah. And he sent this to me for the use of the show tonight. And actually what this is very simply this. When you search for any mineral, usually they do it by aircraft, they have devices which they sound the surface of the earth with, or if they have like these landmine detectors that'll tell you how deep anything mineral is, but they don't penetrate deep enough. So, we drill a deep hole into the surface of the ground, and we drop this down into the ground, thusly. Then we turn on this device, and we get an impulse. If the impulse is a correct impulse, we can detect what mineral it is, and how deep it is, and what the quantity is, etc., etc. And it's very simply a mineral device, detecting device.
That's a mineral detecting device. Okay. Thank you, George. Well, players, let's give you a quick recap. Pete thinks it's a thermometer that goes in a whale's blowhole. You can think whatever you like. Fannie thinks it's for skin divers to warn them when oxygen is low. Joe thinks it's to attract fish with a little beep beep and they go crazy and they come over. And George just says quite simply, you put it in the ground and it's a mineral detector. And Maggie, you now have moved into our first position on the panel. Your odds will be 2 to 1. You may have the first selection of any of the 4. You have $125 and you may bet up to 50 of it.
I'm going to bet $30 on Peter Marshall.
$30 on Peter Marshall and his whale. $30 on Peter Marshall's whale. There you go. Okay, back up here to you, Jim. There are 3 stars left. You're at 5 to 1. Where will you go?
I'll bet $10 on Joey.
$10 on Joey. You think that made more sense? It's a fish attractor, huh? Okay. Over to Terry, who is at 10 to 1. 2 stars remaining. What do you say, Terry? You have $54.
Okay. I'll bet 30 of it on Fannie.
30 of it on Fannie. You're that sure that it's for skin divers when the oxygen... Okay. And now, Diane, my dear.
I guess I'm stuck with George again.
Stuck with George again and his mineral detector. How
Yes.
much are you stuck for?
How much do I have?
Yeah, you have $110 right now.
Okay, I'll bet 30.
$30 on the mineral detector. Okay, we'll find out in a second. The bets are in. Bill Barry, will you tell us if any of these stories were true?
Direct from Sears Roebuck comes the word. It's a fish call.
A fish call. Oh, no, boy. At 5 to 1, good bet. Picks you up to $155. That's super. At $10 bet, 5 to 1, $50 added. We'll be back to Liars Club with more fun and games right after this important message. Come back.
Our contestants will be able to purchase some of the following prizes with their winnings. A 7-piece ensemble of Starflight's new soft-side luggage from the Roper Luggage Company. Soft-side combines textured vinyl interiors with smartly styled interiors for that special feeling of luxury. A vacation for 2 at the Hotel Sahara in Las Vegas. Enjoy 3 swimming pools, fine dining in the Sahara's Caravan Room, and top celebrity entertainment in the Congo Room and the Casbah. From Electrophonic, America's largest manufacturer of fine stereo products, a beautiful new total stereo system finished in gleaming champagne by Electrophonic.
Hi, and we're back to Liars Club. Let's take a quick look at our money here. We have Terry with $24. Diane has $80. Maggie has $95. Jim, you have $155. That makes you today's winner with $155. We have some lovely party gifts for all of you. We thank you for playing. I got to thank 4 great liars. George, Joe, Fannie, my buddy Pete. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you,
It was really fun. Come back and see us next week, will you? We'll be here on Liars Club. There's another meeting. Don't miss it. And this time I'm telling you the truth. Promise. Come on back. Hey, thank you, guys.